My name's Robert Scott Anderson. I'm the curator of Safety Harbor Museum and member of the board of directors for the museum. What we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about some of the exhibits we have here in the museum. And number one is featured is the Tocobaga Indians. The Tocobaga Indians are the Native Americans that inhabited this area 15 to 1600 years ago. They were the ones that they met with Navarrese, they met with DeSoto, which introduced disease to their ranks. They also met with Menendez, and it's speculated that here in Safety Harbor was where the first peace treaty was ever brokered by Europeans between Native American tribes, and that would have been the Tocobaga and the Calusa from down around the Fort Myers area. The Tocobaga Indians made a lot of pottery and left a lot of arrowheads. The arrowheads were mostly made out of a stone-like material. We have a few on display. There have been numerous points over the years found in Safety Harbor. One that made all the news was the one that was found in Marshall Park during the digging. We have a nice collection of arrowheads that came from Philippi Park. And this pottery was found at the Bayview Mound, which the Bayview Mound was down by where the Bayview Bridge is. Other examples of remains of pottery from Tocobaga Indians are up here. Another aspect of museum is we have a fine collection of history of Safety Harbor Spa. The spa itself was originally purchased by Colonel Bailey in 1855. The original purchase actually states it runs from Mullet Creek 1 mile south of Philippieville, which would have been Odette Philippi's property, which would be up by in Philippi Park, and it included 5 springs. One of the things that's interesting is over the years how the spa has developed. At one time they were shipping water worldwide. We have bottles. The one in the crate is actually what they shipped water in worldwide in large containers, or they had small bottles. What is very interesting is the fact that this water was actually bottled and sold for medicinal purposes. We have a bottle on display that is actually dated 1937, and right on the label it says recommended by physicians for Bright's disease, bladder troubles, diabetes, dropsy, high blood pressure, gout, syphilis, calculus, sciatica, and all forms of rheumatism, catheter of the stomach and bowels, chronic skin diseases, especially the squamous variety, and all chronic conditions due to malarial infections. Another area of interest is the site of this museum. Archaeological digs on this property have unearthed numerous items from both the Tocobaga Indians and from the fire that occurred. The site of the museum used to be the site of the old Bayshore Hotel. The hotel was built in 1898, and it was for guests of the spa, and it burned down in 1908. It was largely forgotten until 1987 when it was discovered. What is interesting is the museum sits, we're standing right here at the back wall of the museum. This would be Bayshore Boulevard. Here is where the hotel stood. Anyway, a lot of archaeological classes, programs that we've done in the museum have uncovered all these relics. But this was only the first big fire that Safety Harbor had. The second fire was when the town burned down. Safety Harbor became a city in 1917, approximately in June. In September, at the Green Springs Inn, it's speculated that oily rags started it, but the town burned. It depends on who you talk to at the time as to how much burned. I know there was a house on 4th Street that was damaged from the fire. Some people speculate that only 2 blocks burned. Others speculate that up to 7 blocks burned. But this is Safety Harbor prior to the fire. And these are pictures of downtown Safety Harbor prior to the 1917 fire. And out of the ashes sprouted forth a new and improved Safety Harbor. Virginia, and her name was now Tucker. It was her father that purchased the spa. With a partner, developed what was called the St. James Hotel. It opened in 1925. Philippi Parkway was the main drag, what we now call Philippi Parkway, it was First Avenue back then, was the main drag in Safety Harbor. You also had the Alden's Theater in this building right here. This picture shows Philippi Parkway. If you probably can't see it, but very faintly on that sign pole, it says First Avenue. Down at the corner was where the intersection is. This building you're seeing right up in the forefront is actually where the back of the public library is now. The building was torn down in 1981, which ended an era of Philippi Parkway being the main street in downtown Safety Harbor. Come and see us. We have complete history of Safety Harbor here, all the way from the auditorium that was at Philippi Park, going back to World War II, our police department, which they abolished. We have mammal bones of the various animals that lived in Florida prior to man being here. And it's a very interesting place. Come and visit us.